What's up, YouTube? Zero here. Welcome to the place where gamers, witches, wizards, and superheroes unite. Today, we're going to be doing Act 3 of the Verbeeg Jamboree, which is titled, of course, I run right into... this is why we can't have nice things. I run right into those spikes as soon as the quest starts. Anyway... don't do what I just did. We are doing the Verbeeg Jamboree Act 3, which is called A Feast for All Cretins. And why is it called that? Because we are facing the chef at the end of this mission. And I am going to talk more about the chef a little bit later. I'm going to talk about his lore, and I'm going to talk about how difficult it was for me to defeat him. But first... we're on this quest. Welcome to the channel if you are new, and thank you for stopping by. I hope that you're having a great day. I hope you're having some fun in Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance if you are playing it, and if you're not, hopefully this video will entertain you. Now, if it does entertain you, feel free to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, the red button that says subscribe. It's red like a tomato, a strawberry, a lot of red things. The subscribe button is one of them, so you never miss another one of my videos. I'm Zero, and this is Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance. I've gotten so off script. I don't even write a script for these things. I kind of just wing it, and I'm well off script already. But this is the Verbeeg Jamboree, Act 3, Feast for All Cretins, and I'm Zero. Welcome to the channel, again. Anyway, don't miss any of this loot. There's a lot of loot to begin this quest. Now, I am on level 3, playing through this quest. There are 6 different difficulty levels. A lot of my other playthroughs, I've showed you me playing on difficulty 1. I decided to up that a little bit. I've been going through the game, and level 1 has been getting a little easy based off of me leveling Drittz up. In this video, I'm at level 14 or 15. I think I'm at 14 in this one. So you can destroy these pillars. Don't miss them because there's gold under them, so make sure you destroy the pillars. But I'm at level 14, and level 1 was getting a little easy. I was just one-shotting enemies. So I decided to up it a little bit. I tried 2, still not too bad, so I just decided to try 3. And everything was going fantastic until the end. Until I faced the chef. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm not hiding anything. It took me a few tries to defeat the chef. And a few is a few. A lot. More than I'd like to admit. Somehow, I go through the entire level. I have no problem. I take on these trolls. I take on these goblins. No big deal. And then I get to the final boss, and I just can't defeat him for the life of me. I don't actually know how I was able to finally defeat him. I think I got lucky, and we'll go over that when we actually get to the boss battle. I got insanely lucky, and I was able to run through him. But that was all luck. Now, as we are going through this mission, a couple of things you have to remember about Drittz. He is squishy. You could probably put all of your points into armor and health, and he's still going to be squishy. I'm being hit once, and half or more than half of my health is going away. So you have to make sure, if you're playing as Drittz, that you do not get hit by some of the direct hits. Some of the hits that aren't direct, they're not going to take away a huge amount, but if they're direct hits, they're going to take away a lot of your health. Something else to note, and this is something that's a pet peeve of mine in video games in general, is Drittz has some long moves. If you enter one of those long moves and you need to dodge or block, the game does not let you cancel that move. Hopefully, they patch that in the future. I am praying. I'm asking the developers, please patch that in the future. If an enemy is about to hit me and I'm in the middle of a move, I want to cancel that move so I can block or dodge. Granted, the controller and the game is not insanely responsive to begin with. There have been times where I've tried to jump, and if you've watched my videos before, you know how bad I am at jumping. I'm already bad enough at jump puzzles and jumping. Don't make it harder on me. When I click the jump button, which is A on the Xbox controller, please jump. There are so many times where I've tried to jump in this game and it just didn't jump. The good news about this game, at least Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance, is if you do fall off the map, it teleports you right back to where you fell off the map. You do lose a little bit of health. A little sliver, maybe 1/10 of your health or something, which isn't bad considering there are some games where if you fall off the map, oh, you died. You have to restart from the last checkpoint. That would honestly suck if it happened in Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance. That is something that I do really like because I have issues in general with jumping, but of course, because the controls aren't very responsive, I've had even more issues with falling off the map in this game. And sometimes Drittz will just keep going. There's an edge, there's an enemy on an edge. You keep hitting this enemy, somehow the enemy doesn't fall off, but you go flying because you just have this move that keeps taking you forward and forward. Don't ask me how many times I've done that already. It's been a lot. Maybe as many times as I died to the chef. It was a lot of times I died to the chef. I must have died like 16 or 17 times to the chef before I actually defeated him. I know. Some of you are behind your computers like, but the chef wasn't that hard. Well, it was to me. I'm playing as Drittz. Drittz is squishy. Really, really squishy. Like, I don't even know how to describe how squishy Drittz is. Have you ever stepped on an ant? That's pretty much how squishy Drittz is. He can't get hit. You just don't want to get hit if you're playing as Drittz. So really, I rely heavily on critical hitting. My build right now is all about critical hitting. Hopefully, I'm going to come out with that build video soon in the future, but I've really focused on critical hitting, trying to wear down and defeat my enemies as quickly as possible. As you see there, I get hit, I'm all kind of dodging, and I get hit, and of course, it takes away a decent sliver of my health. You also have to remember that if you don't get one hit, you're still going to take a lot of damage. There's a lot of enemies around. The controls aren't great. So when you're trying to dodge, you may not dodge in the correct direction, or you may just not dodge in time or block in time. So I do my best to try and just whittle down the enemies as quickly as possible. You see there, I ran through that dude really quickly. Health and armor, not a big thing for Drittz. He doesn't like them. So we're focusing on critical damage and attack output. Something to note that you don't want to be on the fire area when it spews up fire. That is one thing to note. Something else to note, I may have mentioned this before, is that chests have the capability of giving you potions back. So if you're lucky and you've used a health potion, hopefully it'll give you a health potion. Now, if you have, in this video, I'm only using health potions, but if you do have that filled up, it could give you one of the 4. So it may not be a health potion, but in the future, I do have potions that coincide with what can really help my damage output go even further. So outside of the health, which is more defensive, I have stamina, getting my stamina back because Drittz is all about hitting quickly and a lot. I also have getting my ultimate meter back because Guinevere is just dirty. The Panther that I call in, he is absolutely dirty, can deal a lot of damage very quickly. So I rely on Guinevere a lot when I have him. And a lot of times I do try to save Guinevere for the boss. But if I have that potion that ups my ultimate meter back a lot, then I'll try and use that when I'm on a boss because Guinevere can help you run through a boss insanely quickly. You'll see I'm only showing you the time I beat the chef, but I run through him insanely quickly when I'm actually able to defeat him. I was lucky because of all the critical hits I get. I don't have Guinevere in that, but imagine if I had Guinevere. It would have been maybe 5 seconds that I would have ran through the chef. So that's just how quickly you can run through enemies. When I'm playing solo, I try to keep it on some of the lower difficulties again, because Drittz is really squishy. I was just reading something earlier today. I'm like, what am I doing wrong, internet? Internet, tell me what I'm doing wrong with Drittz as to why he's so squishy. What do I have to put into Drittz to make him less squishy? Am I just clicking buttons too fast? Do I need to dodge a little bit better? And the internet was like, if you want to have an easy time, don't use Drittz. And I'm like, well, thanks, internet, for that. That doesn't help me now. Now I have to just, I guess, be better. I have to be a little bit slower with my attacks. I can't get hit like that. Almost half my health going away. And sometimes you won't even be near an enemy, and it'll say the enemy hits you, which is even worse. Just when you're not near an enemy and the game says the enemy hits you, that's just the worst. You're thinking in your head, I dodged this, I'm out, I'm outie, I had a perfect dodge, and the game's like, nope, no, you did not. You think you had a perfect dodge? Nope, not today. Not today. You definitely got hit, and you're just like, no, I didn't get hit, but whatever, game, if you want to do that to me and just completely mess me up. Goblins aren't a big thing. I pretty much got goblins on lock. Trolls, I'm getting a lot better with. It's just some of the bosses that I'm having trouble playing as Drittz with. And when I get confused, that is so frustrating. I talked about this in a previous video, but the confusion mechanic is so annoying. So for those of you who don't know, if you get confused, your controls don't operate properly. So you could push forward and your character will go left. You could push back and your character will go forward. It's so frustrating of a mechanic. Let me tell you, one of the worst mechanics in any game. Sorry guys, I gotta grab some coffee. But this level, my opinion, wasn't that hard except for the chef. I was actually playing earlier today, and this is something else that I don't really like about this game, is that random people can't join up on you if you're in the middle of a mission. So what happened to me was I was playing a mission and there were 3 of us. Well, the one dude died, of course, and he must have gotten a little salty and he left immediately as he went down. All right, now there are 2 of us. I had run a few missions prior with this one dude, so I'm just like, okay, we still got this, no big deal. Well, he decided to continue going on as I was trying to just look for loot, because in this game, there's a lot of loot that you could miss if you just try and fly through. And I didn't want to miss that loot. I'm trying to grind for the gold and gear and everything because I want my Drittz character to just be as best as he can be. So I'm grinding for all that. Well, he ran forward, and of course, what happened? Yep, he went down. What happened when he went down? He left. And guess who's left in this mission all alone? Yup, here's me all alone on, I don't think it drops the difficulty. Maybe it does, but it was still difficult as hell, me trying to run through this. Eventually, I gave up. I went back out, came back in. I was able to defeat it. But just, if you're in public and you want to play with people, it would be so much better for matchmaking if the game allows people to join up on you. If you want to play at a higher difficulty, you put on the higher difficulty, let people join up on you. I know maybe it's not a typical Dungeons and Dragons thing, but it would be so much better for matchmaking. There's so many times where I've tried to matchmake, I've tried to get up on people and it said, failed to join host, failed to find a party. And it's just, those things get frustrating. Just let me join up on somebody. Let me join in somebody's party and have some fun. Even if they're mid-match, who cares? Because I want to play with people. At least it finds me a lobby and then I can continue rolling chilling with those people if they're good. So as you saw, what I'm doing here is I'm doubling back. I missed an area that I could go off on. I recognized that I was about to, fall off the map. We were just talking about that. We were just talking about this earlier, me falling off the map. Drittz doesn't even try to grab onto a ledge. He's just like, nope, there's lava down here. It's a cold day. I want to get warm. So there's lava. Warm, perfect. Yeah, not for me though, because I lose health. So anyway, it would be great for a matchmaking perspective so people don't have to wait years to try and find a lobby, because sometimes it can get frustrating. You've looked 3 times and 3 times in a row, oh, we can't join a lobby. Well, thanks, Dungeons and Dragons. I would like to join a lobby, so just join me in the middle of a match. Again, it may not be a typical Dungeons and Dragons thing. I don't know. I haven't been a huge follower of this series, so I'm sure somebody can tell me if you've played Dungeons and Dragons a lot before, but I think changing it up a little bit would have benefited this game. So, here we go. My nemesis. The spikes. The dreaded spikes that we saw me mess up earlier with. Let's see if I could do a little bit better. All right. Nope. Of course, somehow I have no idea how I ran into those spikes. So, let's keep going. Maybe I won't hit any more. No, there we go. Somehow, it didn't look like I was close. I don't know. Maybe that's why I have glasses on, and I still can't see the spikes. It didn't look like I was close enough to hit them, but maybe I was. Game said I was. Nice amount of gold in that chest, though. That was a good one. I don't like to have 2 health potions. I always like to be at the max of health potions. You can see my health right now. So, yeah, wasting a health potion to make sure I'm at my max health. But unfortunately, now down to the 1 potion. So I may have to hit up a camp soon. I don't want to risk dying because I haven't gotten a camp yet and lose out on all that progress. So it looks like there's a big boy down here. Hopefully we can take him out relatively quickly. And then go back to that lever and rock and roll. So let's take out this big boy. Trying to belly bump you. Ugh. Drittz doing the belly bump as well. And you can see how much he can do. Thank God for Battle Frenzy. Battle Frenzy is just amazing for Drittz. You can just go into beast mode when you get that Battle Frenzy. You can restore all of your health and stamina very quickly. And then, of course, gotta call in my Panther, because it's a great pet panther. I'm gonna have to give the pet panther some extra treats, Guinevere, because he is just tearing it up for me. And then, of course, get poisoned. Unfortunately, it is what it is. But at least I can dodge a chain throw. And another time, you don't think you're that close, and then apparently you are, and half of your health goes away. So let's finish off this troll. Slowly but surely. Sometimes you just have to be patient when it comes to dungeons. That's something I'm learning, that as you get up on the higher difficulties, because of the controls not necessarily being amazing, you have to be patient. Get your hits off, back out, get your hits off, dodge or block, but wait for them to do something stupid like that. And so he got real quick and then swung around real quick. But anyway, dude's dead. Let's take a rest. Have some coffee at the campfire. Short rest. Nice cup of joe. Sometimes you just have to take a second to breathe, relax, set up camp, have some coffee, maybe a chicken leg. Hey, maybe a goblin leg. The chef cooks up goblins. And speaking of which, as we are getting closer to the end of the video, let me read this about the chef, and we can talk a little bit more about the chef. So I'm going to read the chef lore. Few things can unnerve the steely heart of dwarves, but among those of Clan Battlehammer, one of the most terrifying sounds is that of a boiling pot of Verbeeg stew. And of course, nothing attracts a Verbeeg like the smell of dwarf stew over the fire. The chef, as he was known to his kind, had a recipe for dwarf stew like no other. A legendary dish, yet dwarf is hard to come by, and so few Verbeeg in Icewind Dale ever had the chance to sample it. Perhaps, in part, that is how the legend grew. The key, some said, was that the chef was always careful not to poke too many holes in the dwarf's shell, lest all the juice leak out. Boiled in the shell was best to keep the meat moist and the flavor concentrated. As for the other ingredients, alas, for the Verbeeg, chef has made his last pot, and his secrets have died with him. So that is the chef, and talking about some chef stew, who else is getting hungry for some goblins? I know I am. Right here, I'm gonna go ask the chef to make me some of his famous stew. I wonder what's in it. You let me know in the comment section, do you think Gordon Ramsay would enjoy the chef's goblin stew? What do you think Gordon Ramsay would add to the chef's stew? I'm thinking, it's a good one. Maybe some crystals. Probably some gold. I don't think the chef has a need for gold, so he probably throws some gold in there, melts it down over the lava, throws some gold in there. That's why it is very, very expensive on the chef's menu. I've looked. You don't want to look at the menu. It is more expensive than a Gordon Ramsay burger. There's a Gordon Ramsay burger that I think is close to like $130 in England somewhere at one of his new restaurants. That's nuts. Now, I'm passing all of this battle because I've done it before. Remember, we tracked back in order to get all of that gold on the other side that I missed earlier, so I'm just gonna pass up the battles that I have already taken care of and going forward to take on the chef. Now there's gonna be a cutscene where I'm gonna be very quiet so we can listen. We can hear the chef. And going up, we'll see the cutscene and then take on the chef.
I once my pounds of fast, and I once said fresh. I likes it kicking and screaming. I likes it banging, squealing. Slow and now it's kicking. The snap of its scrawny neck. Oh, I like those dull eyes staring. That funny face it's wearing. Again? Tomates. Soup ain't ready. Next one of you guys interrupts, gonna find himself in the soup.
So apparently the chef does not like to be interrupted. So unless you want your head in the stew, I would not interrupt the chef. Again, this took me a little while to defeat the chef, but eventually I was lucky enough I was able to knock him down. This is me just contemplating life at this point. Trying to think, what's the best way to defeat this dude? Because he's had me a few times. All right. After my pep talk to myself, because it was a pep talk to myself, I said this time is it. Now I get a little lucky. The chef has a lot of moves. He is like a big troll. He'll belly you. He'll do his ground pound. But the one move that really, he'll stab you forward. This was the lucky part. I was able to get him on the ground and go to town. You can see how many critical hits. We talked about my critical hit build. I was able to really knock him. The one move that really did me in a lot of times, he would spin his hammer or whatever it was, and that would really do me in. because if you got hit by that, again, you're trying to go in as Drittz, you're a close range character. This one would really do me in, but eventually I was able to learn from my mistakes and miss. He'd also try to sit on you, but I was eventually able to take him out. So again, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel for more Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance content.
Let me test you.